Hello again, Adam Douglas arrives. So this week we're doing a wonderful bit of driving around Autopolis in GT Sport. It's a track I'm pretty good with. This is the shortened course, so instead of that where you go left through another hairpin and then off through a nice kind of medium speed, low speed section that kind of flows a bit, and then coming back around onto the final chicane bit, you take a right through a hairpin and straight onto that chicane. So the tricky points here, that right turn at the end is pretty much it. Hairpins are always important at Autopolis because there's a lot of time to be made and lost there, and that high speed section after the second hairpin where you just flow through at pace. That's the tricks. Four cars to choose from: the Audi TT, the Peugeot RCZ, the Renault Megane, and the Volkswagen Scirocco. You can rule out the TT. It's an understeery mess of nightmare horrors. You can't get it through the hairpins quickly. The Scirocco is really quite fast, I found, at least on the full-size track. It just suffers off the line. The Megane is planted off the line and pretty well balanced through the rest of the track. And the RCZ felt like it was probably a little bit behind the Scirocco. I did try laps with all of them. The Megane is what I've stuck with because I knew that's what I'd be driving in the race. Scirocco, I feel like if I'd really worked it, I probably could have got a faster qualifying time. In any case, that's kind of the upshot. So let's go take a look at some races. Here we are at Autopolis, first race. We are lined up against our actual old mate, and you can see here, start, about even, not doing too badly. One of the tricks I have is I'll actually practice starting from the front row of the grid and work out where my braking points are. You can see there I got a biff from Tumu. Got a biff towards the outside again, and I've just kind of copped that for the time being. And we're going to warp speed here as we just follow these fine folk around the track. You can see it's not too bad. I'm staying kind of on the tails to get really close down to the last corner, but probably a bit deep. And you can see I'm starting to drop back a bit and trying to follow in the suck. And then I really stuff up the first corner there by braking way too late. But wait for it. I'm actually doing okay here. I'm building some pace back up. I'm not losing ground. I'm not gaining a whole lot. But I'm doing okay. I come up into the last real corner again here. And I seem to have done a better job of it this time. Lining up behind Tumu. You can see there's a bit of contact there between the folk up front. And I've gained a lot of space into the first corner, gained some more into the third corner, still gaining. Somehow I just shanghaied that cone to the moon. I'm still gaining, and I'm doing okay here. We'll come out here and start noticing things, start having a look around. What's missing? Well, we're missing the board and we're missing the cone. You can see these two folk there having a bit of a nap on the outside. I've decided, you know what, someone's got to do the job properly and just go on with it. So from here, coming along the main straight in, and yep, cones are still there, that's okay. I need my cones a little bit to help work out where I'm going. Continue around the rest of the lap. You can see there's cones kind of lying all over the side of the track, which is not an indicator of a good clean race. It means people have been having a bit of issues with track limits and each other. Coming into the last corner, and there is like no boards and cones, so I've somehow managed to bring it up in time. And coming down the main straight again, and oh, the cones are not there. I know that you brake pretty much at that orange panel on the left, so that's my marker. Through this part of the track, I don't really need the cones. I just know where the brake points are. And there we go. Just deep past that guy, lapping him as he re-enters life. But that last corner's the trick, right? Because if you go off, you go off, and I've still gained a decent gap here, 1.7 seconds, it's the last lap. And I've also gone, you know what, I actually don't need to be trying to find the limits of the track anymore. I can ease off a bit and let that gap come down. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm taking it safe through the areas I'm not sure where track limits are. Particularly this last corner. I've braked way early there and then kind of released the brake and gone deep in the corner. Still winning the race by a second. So that was a good bit of fun race, and nice to get one over old mate, especially seeing as it's, well, made a mistake. So there we go. First race and it's a win there. The next few races did not go quite so well, but they didn't go too badly. So we are lining up in second place against Beat Guitar. And Beat Guitar is in the Sirocco. So we're dragging him off the line, no problems, no questions asked. Down into T1, going okay, that's alright. Watch the radar, yep, that's fine. Through T1, no problems. So then we just warp away to later in the lap. See, he's gained on us into that second hairpin. I haven't got a great run through that flowing section into the last rear corner. You can see he's got past. I've left him a gap. If I didn't leave that gap, it would have been punched from behind and I'm off. As it is, I then try to be a bit too polite and take a penalty. So I've now coming here to serve that penalty. This is the lap later. I've basically done the dive bomb barge, probably unintentionally being on the wrong braking point. Serve my penalty, pull back in behind. A lap later again. No, many laps later, it's now lap 5. And I've gone for the same mistake as the time before. And realistically that hasn't worked. And then I've tried to hand the position back. It looks like I'm blocking, I'm actually trying to hand the position back, didn't work. So this time I've decided I'll just hang out wide here at T1. I've done that, he's come through and then given me a bit of a biff. Fair enough if he thinks that's revenge, but deliberately handing the position back. That's how you say sorry, folks. You hand places back if you can. And second place, so that's okay, that's where we started on the grid. So evened and fastest lap. Another race with old mate. See what happens this time around. Oh yeah, I'm clearly getting a better start than he is. Heading down to T1. You can see that I'm checking exactly where he is. And I've hit the brakes, I've come past. Don't think we've made contact, it's pretty close. That's okay, I'm kind of giving him enough room here. Don't want to cause an accident if we don't need to. Make sure you give people racing room, you know. Giving him enough room here, and then I've just gone, you know what, I really can't give you too much more room. And as I come to cut across, he gets a bit of a biff and gives me a biff. Then I get an attempted biff from another person. I think that was Kyo, who's still back up into second place after dispatching Yusan. We'll walk forward a little bit. You can see there, I've had a look, it's not on. Pull back in. I'm not trying to get past. I've clearly had a bad exit to the last corner compared to Kyo, who's just streaking past there. Into T1, let him have the place, pull him behind, try and get that suck. End of the lap. I have absolutely ballsed that up. And I'm off in the gravel, it's entirely my fault. I've got a biff from him again on the way out. And then I get another biff here from Toho Racer. Try coming back through, this is now lap 3. So you get past Yusan here, just a good late move. Coming into the last corner, you can see Yusan tips me off. Just gives me a little bump I think, and then to make up for it, says sorry and lets me back past. That's good manners again, I like that. I like it when people say, you know what, I did the wrong thing and I'm letting you pass, even if it doesn't matter at that point. This race is starting on pole from Aquilon, and Watch What Happens. That's not a name that fills me with confidence seeing someone called Watch What Happens behind me. Anyway, in the run down to T1, that's pretty much the right braking point, that's fine. Snip forwards here, you can see I've got that wrong out of the second hairpin, and Aquilon's 3. Fine, we'll speed up just a little bit, see what happens coming here. I think I've maybe given him a tiny nudge, but I've held back. Another tiny nudge there, come on, hurry up. Coming into T1, I've got a bit of a biff from behind. T1 again, he's gone deep, or they've gone deep, and I'm trying to get the drag on the inside. Possibly would have been better pulling him behind, getting that draft, and then trying to get past. In any case, here I go, into turn 3. I've made it past, I've got a biff from behind, then get another biff from Tomo Racing. And then watch this for a move. 100% don't think that's staying on track. He's got past. I come back past with a little bit of a bump. Not clean racing here, but he's got the pace. They've got the pace, Tomo Racing. and come back through there. A little bit of a contact made on the way in and a bit more on the way out. So I'm sitting in second still. Coming up to the braking point, I have got on the brakes too late and sent myself into the gravel. No one to blame but myself there. So here we go again. Coming into T1, 5th lap, a couple of likely fellows off on the side of the track, so I gained some places and then set myself off on the gravel again. And that's not great. Still have the chance to beat Waipara. Got past. Coming into the last corner, Waipara comes from 3 or 4 tenths back and decides they'll push me off. Have another go, again with Aqualon, and we can see one-legged seagull in 3rd place. See what happens this time around. Have not got as good a start as Aqualon, who has then backed off and then given me a bit of a shove into T1. Probably misjudged braking points. I'm not going to hold that as a big grudge. And yep, coming out of the last corner, got a bit of a shunt. Coming into the last corner on lap 3, up behind a collection of folk. There's a couple of RCZs there and a Megane. Remembering that the Megane is planted off the start, I suspect the RCZ and the Sirocco might have a faster lap in them, but they give up a lot of time off the start, so there's that to manage. So I've come past Gloff off and then get a shove. Last lap. You can see a couple of folks off here. I've come through and takes us back to 9th. Next race starts. Val versus Fast Virgo at the top. One-legged seagull is much further down, so I think at this point I have improved my qualifying time. Fast Virgo's been jumped by Morgs off the line. Coming into T1, I've gotten a biff from Morgs, which lets Fast Virgo back through. Fast Virgo in the Sirocco, so it's not a surprise I jumped them. And then Deadening Boob comes around the outside into T3, slight little tap from me. I'm trying not to get past him. Another shove from Nakata. Another shove from a gaggle of folk. And I'm just going to go on, I have to hit the brakes at some point and come back through. Coming into T3 again, lap 3. Close to Deadening Boob, but not quite there. So we'll watch what happens here. There's clearly possibilities for contact between the leaders, and I'm just trying to sit behind and see if I can pick up some scraps. See, there's a bit of a contact there. I've got a good run on Deadening Boob. Can't really pass there without contact though. So we head towards the last corner on the track, and I have not made contact there somehow. So I'm just trying to get in the draft here, get that toe all the way down the straight. I'm letting them go off to the side because I know if I try and get too much of a toe, I will screw the first corner. So I've got a really good run out of the first corner, made up time there. Coming into T3, is there a move on? There isn't. There's no moves on through here unless you know how to mount the curbs without getting a penalty. And I've done okay. This is a really good mid-hairpin there. You can also see that Nakata Chin is closing from behind. So I've got to make a choice here, and that choice is hold position or send. What happens into the last corner? I send, made it past Deadening Boob, clean move, a bit of a dive bomb. And then last corner, I've given Fast Virgo a slight little pump on the way through, and then it's close. Deadening Boob almost makes it around the outside, but I've managed to just hold the inside and not cut the corner. So 2nd place. That's not too bad. Again, dropped 1 place off the grid. Growing again now. At this point, I'm clearly up against some of the faster folk, and we've got crabs on pole. The crabs, in fact. We've got Ovcore and T-Rise at Moda, both in Siroccos, both getting blasted off the line by the mighty Meganes, pulling away into the lead. Comes T1. You can see, look at that in the radar. 4 wide, or an attempt at 4 wide. Last corner on the first lap, I have just mauled crabs, and it's not polite. I've then cut to the inside of the chicane and got myself the penalty. Krabs is back through. And then we see T Rise goes past both of us. And then I get a shove from Fast Virgo. And then I get a shove from Offcourt. And then Fast Virgo leaps. Then coming into T3 on lap 2, get another bit of a shove by Goromame, who then started off lap 4, shoves himself off at turn 1. So you can see I'm getting good drag here all the way into T3. And it's not really on. I've got it deep and given a little bit of shove. Not too bad. Then they've given themselves the late turn in of the last corner, and I've just kind of come through and said, yeah, I should really be taking that. Then coming to start lap 5, that's Goromame again, but Potty's 67 gives us a shove from behind and makes sure that Goro is not getting past. And the last lap, from half a second behind, Potty's just dive bombs. So that probably should have been second or third place. Potty's gives the apology, but you know what, Potty's maybe hand places back. It looks like you tried at least. T-Rise and Noda in front of us, Fast Virgo behind, Tomo Racing behind. Give it another crack from first place. It's looking pretty clean so far into T1. Tomo's getting close, you can see him coming around the back and outside. Not much. T3. T3 you can see that was T-Rise and Tomo changing places. And otherwise that was a really just fast, clean, boring kind of race. Not much happened. Just managing the gap. And it was actually gap management for a fair bit of that race. And then we go versus Kezi and Akira Baseman. Bassman. It's hard to say which one it is. In any case, the drag down to T1. Kezi's got a good run. Coming along the outside. He gets a punt from behind. Unfortunate. Manages to pull back into third place behind Baseman. So, but from there, it was really just extending the gap and keeping it. Another win. And there we go. That's a week done at Autopolis. You'll notice that this time around we had a bit of warp speeding and a little bit of cutting things. That's just to try and fit the sheer volume of laps and races in to try and make sure we got as much content as possible. And given this is all about, you know, trying to make sure I enjoy making the content and you enjoy watching the content, it's important to me that you guys get to see what's going on for my development as a driver. So I enjoyed that. That was good fun. See what happens next. We might do some more what does this drive like comparisons between different sims. We might do something else entirely. But as always, we enjoy the little triple threat of like, comment, subscribe. Handle that however you want. And we'll see you next time around.